BlackTop Radio. The BlackTop Radio. Mic check, mic check, mic check. You're now tuned in with Mike J. You know the host that do the most. How it feel when you got a rapper from the West Coast on the intro. So smooth. Now we can play the instrumental. BlackTop, BlackTop, BlackTop Radio. Where you can come and get your fix. We be talking about your baby mamas or some politics. Fresh station out where you can tune and hear the hottest. Ain't no filters, you hear all of it. You ain't really popping yet if you ain't never been a guest. Wait, let me guess, you got on next. Got the airwaves on flex. Boom. BlackTop, what did you expect? BlackTop Radio. 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 The BlackTop Radio. 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 The BlackTop. BlackTop. BlackTop Radio.
Tonight's conversation, ABC, a BlackTop conversation, is about colorism in the black community.
Okay.
Light skin, dark skin issues. So yeah, we've heard about Scar and Mufasa
Okay.
as a kid, you know. We've also seen a lot of it, you know, ever since the social media presence has come aboard, and ever since this meme thing has been born. We've seen so many memes down in both light skin and dark skin people in the black community. So many stereotypes, so many issues.
And so much privilege between light skinned and dark skinned people.
Well, that's interesting because that is part one of this conversation. Is light skin privilege real? And if so, have you seen it? Have you experienced it? So, you know, we have three light-skinned people here.
Endangered species.
Actually, only two.
Well, who's not one?
Me.
Oh, she ain't claiming us. Never mind.
I'm not light skinned. I'm
I was about to
caramel
say, I'm not.
complexioned.
I've never considered
I'm
myself
not light skinned. I never looked at myself as light skinned either.
I'm alone in this. Never mind.
No, I'm not. I mean,
Yeah,
hold
you're a
on.
little
Let
Lone
me-
Ranger.
let
You
me-
stand alone. But I really don't consider myself light
Well, if y'all ain't
skinned.
light skin, y'all what 50 Cent called exotic. So which one y'all?
Yeah, pick one.
One of the two.
I just feel like I'm a.
I'm Egyptian.
We're gonna go back to a commercial break right here.
Please.
Let me go live real quick.
We about to go to this next segment is sponsored by
Hey,
I'll be
y'all,
sure.
I play
Hold
too
on, see
much.
that sound.
I play
that
too
sound.
much.
It's that sound.
No, but seriously though, I really don't consider myself light skinned.
Why not?
Because my mom is light skinned. Like she's light skinned. I'm not her complexion. Like I feel like I'm in the middle. Like I'm in between, but I'm not light skinned and I'm not brown skinned. I'm just in the middle. Does that make sense?
It does. See,
Yeah.
the reason why I can't identify as light skin, I can identify with fairer skin, you know what I mean? But I've always been one of those girls who, I pride myself on being black. See, my mother would be what y'all call high yellow, right?
Yeah, right.
And that is, we're going to use that term because that's what the old people called it. It was a
Yeah.
high yellow heifer.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But my father is as brown as they come, and my auntie is the one that I sympathize and empathize with, and the women who raised me in the daycare, brown skin, dark skin, chocolate, right? So, you know, naturally growing up, I used to love getting my summer tans. I used to pride myself in, I'm a bit to be super brown in the summer. And I remember looking at jaundice type yellow in the winter. These are things that when you grow up in the middle, right? When you are literally the color of the brown paper bag, we're going to take it to that. Meaning you ain't too light, but you ain't too dark. You right on the cusp.
Right.
Unfortunately, you tend to side with the darker people, especially if they are immediately, like they're the ones who raised you. That's your experience based on them. That's just me. So that's why I'm like, I don't got time for that light skinness.
Exactly. I don't look at it
skin.
like that. And
Brown.
and I can relate to what you just said because my mom is light skin and my dad is brown skin and my grandfather was brown skin. So
question, ladies, do you acknowledge racism?
Racism or colorism?
No. I'm asking you, do you acknowledge racism?
Yeah, absolutely. Systemically.
what do you mean? Do we
institutionally.
acknowledge it? Like
Because I feel like from white people's standpoint, colorism and racism is the same thing.
It is, and to an
I
extent,
feel like
because of the
and-
prejudice in
very
it.
I feel like racism is outside of us, but it could be within us. But colorism is more so us
A
thing.
community problem
Right.
for me.
Right.
In my opinion.
I do feel like colorism is more of a us thing and not a.
I feel like colorism is another synonym to racism, but it's just in house.
I agree.
So, for instance, me being of the light skin, being proud to be the light skin, I'm that person who, you guys, you on that light skin shit again. And you know what? Guess
Yeah.
what? I'm him.
we do
I'm prime example of that light skin shit. I'm cool with that too.
You'll
I'm
hear
perfectly.
that from a black person before you hear from a white
Okay.
person.
You know what I'm all the way cool. So I got what I would call the shit end of the stick on both sides. I got a little bit of the racism from the Caucasian friends that I had.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't gonna say that, but they're parents. So when you gotta be around them, just as simple as our parents. And I got to also go through colorism as well. For example, me just saying, that's that light skin shit. I've been hearing that way too long in my life where I need somebody to break down, what's that like? Why is that light skin shit mean something outside of solidarity? I need to know that.
So my question is, privilege. Has there ever been a moment where you've gotten a certain opportunity or a certain?
Honestly,
Hold on, Mike, because it's and I'm only saying this because it's actually a deeper layer, because when you say it like that, it's actually a deeper layer to the question than that. The question
privilege.
is more so when you're with your friends or a job wise, can you see the difference of being light skinned versus brown skin? Like when you're with your friends and you go to the club, do you see a difference? Or when you go for a job, do you see a difference?
It depends on who's receiving me. Okay, so for instance, I'll say this. In my college years, now things have changed recently. Light-skinned guys are now the brunt of the joke. So, which I'm okay with that, because at the end of the day, whatever the case be, your preference is your preference. Light-skinned guys seem to be the trend of the brunt of the joke. Yes. But at a certain point, when I was in college, we was something special, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that we were better than anybody else. It's just like you said, how you are treated in a sense. So, for instance, I still get people this, you light-skinned, you gotta be a hoe. What?
Damn. I've heard that one.
People say that directly to me in my face. Oh, you light skinned. I know you a player. I know you this and that. What does that mean?
They're
like
saying you have more opportunity.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about it. Melanin popping so hard right now that you telling me that I got all the opportunity.
That's
and it's like it's a side eye. It's a side eye compliment for real. That's really what's happening.
But you know what? I remember listening to Lil Wayne, and he said, "I want a long head, thick." Red bone,
right?
Not the dark. Red bone. I remember red bone was trending so hard in hip hop.
They made me own that pussy.
Come on now, that is a prescription.
That's what he said.
No, it's not. Stop saying I'm not going with you.
Not a scripture, but a prescription.
I think we do get caught up on that too. So, for instance, that lyric is soon you say specifically what Lil Wayne want, then the people who are not of that description feel some sort of way. Automatically feel some sort of way. See, so as simple as you can bring that up and say, I want a light skin, red bone, woo, 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 woo. Somebody else feels that same way, but they on the opposing side of that. Like, come on, what you mean? What's wrong with a little brown skin, some melanin popping in your life?
I agree.
Everybody got their own song though.
I agree.
But my whole aspect is if you grown, then you just respect somebody's perspective.
This ain't your song.
Right.
You got your song too.
It ain't gotta be for you.
Your song come on next.
What type have so just give me some examples. I don't know if y'all have, been through it with someone who may have been darker, who hated on you just because you were lighter than them. Have you ever been through that?
If that was the reason, I would never have known. And I'm telling y'all, I saw the movie School Days at like 10, 11, 12 years old.
That's my movie.
So when I saw that movie, and first and foremost, I'm excited. I'm thinking, oh, this is just it's a black movie. It got Gina on the cover, Spike Lee. You know, it got all these bomb-looking black people on the cover. When I actually watched the movie as a 10, 11-year-old, I couldn't process it all the way. But I do remember that scene of the wannabes versus the jigaboos. And here's why I was like, well, dang, I ain't really team light skin because, you know what I'm saying? You got to get the perm, the fake contacts, and this, and that, and the other. You
Everybody got to be
fake.
Prince and metrosexual, like, in order. It's because it was the early 90s, 80s era. So when you're light skinned, go ahead, get you the Jerry Kill, get you the chaps with the booty hanging out.
On the strength of me being black and me identifying with what it means to be black, right? Regardless of the skin color, the shit that the light skinned girls were saying to the darker skinned girls, that was pissing me off. I was like, you ain't finna just call nobody no jigaboo.
All the 80s movies are like that.
I was going away.
Yes.
That movie came out in '88, so
Yeah.
it's like it's coming to America. I told you about
Even
colorism
with
is
like,
real.
even with like the 90s, the groups, the R&B groups. Notice how always the light skinned one is always the lead singer, or is in the front.
I won't agree because
Not all groups,
look at
but a
112.
majority.
Bobby Brown was
Look
in
at
light skin.
112.
Well, that's all.
We're gonna stick with the females.
Johnny Gill was in
female.
light skin.
Let's stick with the females.
Ralph was in light skin.
Let's stick with the females.
Who you say?
New Edition. They was in light skin.
No,
We're going
female.
to speak
Female.
with the females.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
702. She wasn't light skin,
They didn't make it though. So,
but they
weak.
actually could have.
They were
about people who
86.
made it.
702 was 86.
You know what? I hate.
You
y'all.
know, it took me a while to realize that Tiny was the front person of her group.
Yes.
I didn't even know that. I thought, but for real,
back
that's
in the
that
day,
speaks
Tiny
volumes.
was bad.
She was
though.
bad.
She was bad.
We're gonna talk about this.
Tiny was
Escape
bad
as a
back in the
group
day.
didn't get respect. They called them women everything from dogs to this, that, and the other. Okay, so the fact that Tiny was bad back then because she was
they
the
didn't
lighter-skinned
because they
one.
didn't look like the stereotypical
Yes.
group.
Yeah.
They had different sizes and different
Yeah.
looks and different
I
faces.
think that's what I appreciated about them the most, for real.
Right.
I'm gonna be real with you.
Okay.
Destiny's Child, right? So, in my opinion,
Beyonce is the
I've-
best
hold on,
singer out
hold
of
on,
them, though.
hold on.
Hold on.
Say Kelly.
Because I'm gonna definitely say this.
Go ahead.
Because in my opinion,
We team
I feel
Kelly.
like Kelly
We
I
team
knew he was
Kelly.
going
Yes,
there.
sir. Team
has
Kelly,
all the talent.
Team Kelly. baby.
Okay. All right. You've gone too far. Nah.
I want. I
Beehive up there.
I'm Beehive to the
Let me
day
go
that
ahead.
I
Let me
die.
go ahead and make my point.
But
real
I've
quick.
been Destiny's Child from the day that I was Destiny's Child before I was Beehive.
Me too. I was Destiny Child
Okay.
when.
No. I was Destiny's Child.
No, listen.
Destiny's
Like-
Child. So look,
I was there when Kelly had A cups before the surgery.
Oh.
You know what
Okay,
I'm
I
saying?
was Destiny's Child plastered on my wall. Had all the all my VHSs was recorded from TRL to Cribs to True Life to all that. I was that type of Destiny's Child fan. So
when it's really
exactly, I had the remix.
Oh, you Wyclef.
I had the remix and the original version
And the
on
acapella
VHS.
and the
Okay?
instrumental. Stop playing with us.
So
Exactly.
stop playing with me.
All right, go ahead.
Let's be real. They was plastered all on my wall.
Okay.
Okay.
And even then,
So,
Team Kelly.
I will say Kelly is gorgeous. She is beautiful. But Beyonce is the better singer out of all of them. She is. But Kelly is gorgeous. I would definitely say if Kelly was a lead in the group, she would have been fine. But her vocals just aren't as strong as Beyonce's are. Kelly can't hit certain notes that Beyonce can.
I'm gonna tie it back to the
I just think
colorism.
Beyonce got better parents that supported her more.
I'm gonna tie it back to the colorism.
And I love Kelly.
Her parents
I
was-
love Kelly like I love Beyonce.
Beyonce parents ran
And
the
I'm
whole
not
show.
looking at color, I'm looking at vocals.
Oh my God.
Vocals are not the same.
Okay, so in 2005, Farrah, the girl who got kicked out of the group, did this interview on Wendy Williams' show, and she was talking about the things that they had to do to get ready, and she did say that B and her were encouraged not to stay out in the sun too long, as to not to get
too dark.
That's what they want to
I
see.
want to ask how many black girls have been told, "Oh, come out of that sun. You don't want them to stay out in the sun." And that was the thing. That was when I asked the question. It was a bunch of girls. Well, not a bunch, but I've heard this story too many times where it'd be two little girls, a darker skinned one and a fairer skinned one. And the fairer skinned one is the one who's being told by the auntie, "Oh, you so pretty, whoop 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 whoop," and they looking at the darker one just gets overlooked, right?
Yep.
Kelly eventually comes out with this song, right? Years later, where she's talking about being overlooked and just her struggles in the business. Aside from,
Are you talking about Dirty Laundry? I just listened to that the other day.
You know what I'm saying?
I just listened to it the other day. I was like, ah, that's my jam though. Kelly killed that song.
She did. And colorism is an issue.
Yeah, it's real.
It is an issue.
My
But let
niece-
me
my-
say,
I got a niece that goes through it all the time. It'll be literally at a birthday party. It's 20 little girls running around, and she's mixed. And everybody's like, "Oh, you're so beautiful. Your hair is so
man.
great."
Yeah.
And
All
everybody,
right.
it's like 20 kids there. They all like,
Yeah. That's that.
I
Now
agree.
that,
Now
that
with
right
that-
there, that's too far.
What that creates,
and you're
as she
7 years
grows
old.
older.
And you're 7
Right.
years old. It's like, okay.
As she grows older, that's a horrible thing to
Come
say
on.
to a child.
Come on.
Because then it makes her, it gives them this sort of,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's not a good thing to say to a child.
Un-
But what I will
unnecessary
say,
entitlement.
Erica, as you as a female, and you have females, friends of all different shades, have you been in a situation where you've been out with your brown skinned girls and they treated them different than they've treated you?
I got stories like that. Shit.
Me personally, I haven't experienced it.
I stopped
And
going
if
out with my
it
light skin.
did happen to me, I was so nonchalant because I'm a girl's girl. I'm like, oh no, we're girls first. If they felt a way about an establishment or a person, I'm just rocking with them, right? And most of the time, unfortunately, I was saddled with a boyfriend in a relationship. So as it relates to the dating aspect of it, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have been able to notice that part. But I will say, mark my words, the story of Ronnie or Crystal she played Ronnie on the Players Club.
Right.
She was on Eon Let's Fix My Life. The
Right.
episode where they had pulled Hazel to the Come to Jesus table.
Right.
And she told her, she said, I remember going to a club and I came with my dark-skinned chocolate bomb homegirls, and the dude like literally turned us away and was like, you could come in, but your homegirls can't. Like, now
Yeah.
I know
That
that
sound
happened.
normal. That
It's
sound normal.
never
I
happened to
will
me,
say.
But
That's crazy, but it's normal.
Yeah.
I remember being
nope.
18 years old, and I went to Atlanta, and I was with a couple other girls, and we went to a club. And mind you, I've never been to Atlanta. This is my first time going to Atlanta. I don't know shit about Atlanta. So we go to the club,
Promoters picky.
and they like, the club there's a line. So there's a $20 line where you could just walk in,
Correct.
and there's a regular line where the shit is
right.
back here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not standing in that shit. So we go to the front. So I'm like, hey, I just want to get in, da 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 da. So he look at me, he look at my ID, and when he look at my ID, I'm like, yeah, I'm 21. And he give me a 21 band, which further let me know he didn't look at my ID. But my homegirls behind me, who are way older than me, they just was like, yeah, you go ahead in with her, but we're not giving you a band. And I was kind of like, wow, like,
And they all were dark skin?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Okay.
Chocolate
Yeah.
babies.
so it's
Wow.
kind of like, yeah, wow, they older than me. Like, and you just let me, I'm 18 years old, they 20. Like, they closer to 21 than I am, and you about to let me get drunk.
That's crazy. Before we go to break, go ahead, Shane.
Yeah, it's happened to me. I mean, okay. But I do say this, being in the shoes of being the light-skinned person, sometimes you just feel like you're getting treated nicely. You know what I'm saying? So I can't sit back and sit here and say, oh, let me take time to pay attention to this person who feels like they're slighted because I'm feeling like I'm being treated better by a stranger. Now, granted, I can't sit here and say why they're treating. Okay, for instance, they're letting you in the club or whatever. That's their preference. This becomes a toxic situation because now the darker complexion young ladies who are dealing with this now becomes not just an issue with the person who made the ignorant statement about it or has the ignorant rules. Now it's the issue against my complexion.
friend, yep.
Yeah, now it's the issue. Well, what you got that's so special that I ain't got? And you know now,
Well, that's a slow. It's
Man,
not
listen,
even fair.
I
to
stopped
put
going
that
out
in
with my
another
light-skinned
person.
friends.
you know
I
it's
stopped
not
going out with my light-skinned friend. I got tired of them getting
serious?
everybody like trying to get at them. Like, look, man.
Y'all making me look bad.
I can't lie to
They
you,
didn't give
man.
them a band, but you know what I did? Sat at the bar all night and bought them drinks. So you didn't give them a band, but they were still good.
And shout out to my homeboy Miami who passed away a long time ago. But it was so funny. We used to go out and purposely holler at the girls that would not get hollered at. And it usually would be the darker skinned girls. Because like, we would go to the club and be like, yo, watch everybody holler at her. And we would literally sit back and watch everybody holler at that.
So you was praying
That one girl.
on a certain woman?
And then, so, no.
Okay.
We wouldn't actually holler at them. We would like get their number and stuff to make them feel good.
It sounded like an experiment.
And then, yeah, correct. So like we would say, okay, it's dark-skinned girl over here. Nobody's talking to her. We would go over there, start conversation, get her phone number. So when she leaves, she feels just as good as the other girls who gave out phone numbers. You see what I'm saying? Now, if we called her, that's different. You know what I'm saying? That might not happen. But it's just like we experimented with that so many times.
That ain't what I meant.
But yeah, it's a real thing, man. It's a real
Doesn't
thing.
matter when you actually not putting it in action worldwide. Like you can't just
Well,
get
no.
her number.
The reason why I say this is because people can really relate to this.
Yeah.
The darker girls and the obese women have a lot in common when it comes to people approaching them. All right.
I agree.
So if you small and light skinned,
Oh yeah, you number one target in the whole room.
so if you're small and dark, you're like second. But then if you're heavy set and dark,
Yeah.
they make a movie about you called Precious.
Yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And it's
Yep.
like, it's crazy
Woo.
that they even have to, we have to be.
It's horrible
My
because
phone can't
who
even
said
stand
that
up. I'm so
Precious
upset.
needed to be big and brown skin? With Precious
how does-
actually with the movie of Precious actually been as efficient
And that's
if
the
she was light
stereotype.
skinned and small.
No, that's why they picked that. That's why they picked that role. They knew they picked her for when she walked into the
But
set.
that's
They
a
said,
horrible thing that you would think a brown skinned heavy set
That's
girl
Hollywood.
would get more effectiveness than a light
when
skinned
she
skinny person
when she
to
wa-
play this role.
When she walked on that set, they said, "Everybody, thank you for coming out." That's
found
who
her.
we got.
Yep, we got her.
Wow.
You know what I'm seeing in the young hip hop culture is they're starting to bring that back too, and I'm really not liking it.
What you mean?
Like, okay, so for instance, you'll have situations like NBA YoungBoy will have a whole bunch of women come to his house, and he will have the light skinned girls fight the brown skinned girls.
Yeah, I seen that.
You know,
What?
I have
real,
seen that.
real
serious?
talk.
Seen that,
Yes,
yeah.
there and same thing with Blueface. Blueface has a whole.
I remember
First
that.
of all,
I
I'm
remember
not
the
going
Blueface
nowhere
one.
where Blueface go.
I mean,
His corny ass.
I wouldn't pay no attention to him anyway. But at the end of the
But you
day,
can't even rap on
But the
me.
younger
I don't
generation
wanna talk
follows
to
that
you.
stuff.
that's what they're doing. But here's the thing about it. Everything is about a message. These people are getting paid to push a message of division. And I feel like, and I've always felt like that. I feel like, excuse
Man.
me for saying this or going slightly off topic, but the same agenda with homosexuality in the media that's getting pushed right now is the same way they did light skin versus dark skin in the 80s. And they're slowly bringing it back around. You've accepted the ignorance in their life. You've accepted what they do on their personal free time, even though that's not why you should love an artist. You accept all of these things.
Right, you're
and,
right. The music.
And then we see those and we say this is a disgusting trait. But the problem is we're now aware of it, which means that it's only
Right.
subject to spread.
Boosie did say 2 red bones kissing in the back seat. Just trying to tell you, man.
Hey, look,
I mean, I'm
and
not
it's
even-
marketable.
Coming to America is one of my favorite movies of all time. And why is the fast sister the dark sister?
Right.
Why is the sister that's
shut up.
out here
But let me
hoeing
tell you
around
this
the
though.
dark sister? They
In
did
the
that.
in the same breath, in the movie School Days, the smart, worth it, the women who were about their salt were the dark skinned ones. It was the wannabes, the light skinned ones who was the hoes. You licking this man's scalp. You out here sleeping with his boy just because he's about to pledge. Like, again, that movie woke me up. I was like, dang, it's about who controls the narrative.
Bomb.
Well,
I've never seen Color. So if you with me, and we all gonna have the same benefits. Or we're not. If we
But you
can't,
don't
then
see
we
it. You don't see it until the results of it. You don't see it.
When
Oh,
you
see
come
the
from a
results.
house of a high yellow mother
No.
and a fair
You
skinned
do.
father,
You do.
and you also
At a
see
certain
that
age.
replicated
You can still see
in
it.
different relationships.
At a
Like
certain age, you do.
the darker women in my family, they like them a light skinned man. The light skinned
I
women in
wanna
my
know
family
that.
like a chocolate woman.
I need to know
Well,
that.
that is different though. When you where you're at though, it doesn't change. 'Cause we're talking about big women. 'Cause if you go to Jamaica, you can't be small. They're not gonna talk to you.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Where it's the opposite. They like thick
ones.
girls.
Yeah.
I'm talking about my cousins got harassed the whole time they was over there because they all big. You know what I'm saying? But they'll come back home and be like,
That's because
You
we're
just
in
get-
America.
I do need
And
to
y'all
know.
who controls the narrative.
Because
Why does everybody want to be a
there's
salt and
image.
pepper shaker? Oh, a salt and pepper. It's always a light-skinned person trying to get with a dark-skinned person,
Oh, okay, I get you,
or
I
a
get you,
dark-skinned
I get
person. It's always a salt and
like
pepper
trying
to
shaped
big up your
situation.
blackness.
It's almost like,
They claim it's a balance.
I don't know. I guess that's the case.
So before we grease, I would say in my household, so my mom is high yellow mixed. My sister, so it's 5 of us. 4 of us is brown. 1 came out and took my grandfather's genes, and now she's like Mariah Carey, light skin. Which I don't even know if Mariah Carey is really black or not, but we're gonna figure that out later.
She's mulatto.
Yeah.
But okay.
So my sister got special attention from my father because he was afraid that because there are 4 brown people and that my father's a brown, that we're gonna get this more special treatment than her. So he didn't want her to feel left out. So the whole time growing up, he made sure that he spent extra time with my sister to make her feel like even if she had a moment where she might have not felt accepted, she would feel accepted. So it's seeing that, it's like, man, as a young boy growing up, and now it's like, damn, my mom light skin, as a dude, you kind of want someone that replicates your mama a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, younger me, I was looking for the red bones. Where the yellow girls at?
I was
looking
too.
for them. You know what I'm saying? And then I realized it's like, whether you yellow or brown or black, it really don't even matter for real.
I just had to cut it out because light-skinned girls don't text back. So after a while, you just begin to understand. Go ahead. We going.
Once you have with a bad experience of the shade that you thought you wanted,
Right.
Cause you gotta play us. Cause what you mean?
Well, if that's the case,
Man,
I sure
Oh,
did.
now you hold up. Now
I
you
sure
light
did
skin.
have a
Hold up.
chocolate man.
see what I'm saying?
I sure did have a chocolate man, and he won't no good.
5 minutes ago you won't like skin.
Yeah, both of y'all want light skin.
I
5
light
minutes ago.
skin.
Brown skin. What
I'm
you
still
mean? I never said I'm light
I'm
skin.
in the middle skin.
Lambo got y'all. Lambo got
I'm
y'all.
brown.
You see
Good
me
setup,
on you see,
brother.
I'm
There you
brown
go.
skin.
That was a Chris
First of all,
Paul
that
alley.
comes from a light skinned guy.
That was live.
He's
City.
claiming it
What you
though.
mean?
He's claiming it.
Yeah, but see, here's everything. There are. I do believe that there are
You sound like Miss BSU over
Me and
here.
Erica said,
There
no,
are-
I do not.
things that
I know who I am.
identified.
You are acting light skin.
What are the identifiers that
I
you're
am
actively light skinned?
Black. That's all I know.
I'm confused. What y'all
Like, don't
mean?
come for me because me and Erica don't identify with light skin or brown skin.
Don't
And
even
you can't
put
be
me in
mad
the
at
red
us.
bone category. I am as brown as they
I'm
come.
gonna call y'all MLKs. Colorblind.
I think brown skin girls are gorgeous. I think they're beautiful. So I don't like when people
They
do
are.
that because it's just like they look good, just as good.
Well, wait.
as you say a light
But we're
skin
not
girl.
saying that though. We're not
Here,
saying that.
that's
Nobody-
that right. Look,
I didn't say y'all said that.
Oh.
I said I don't like when people do that.
that right there shows what you're geared to, and I'm gonna explain why. The mother of my kids is mixed, father white. Everything about her, being that she feels like she knows 100% of what it's like to be black, now she needs to go explore the white side. So now everything is about putting that white side on a certain pedestal that could actually make black people or the darker people feel like it's a certain situation. It's the same difference between a light and dark situation. Whereas I don't identify with light-skinned people, but then you immediately go to what's next about so beautiful of the brown-skinned people in your next sentence.
Well, let me tell you something. If I
Thank you,
did
Erica.
find out who was white in my grandmother's on her side of the family, or if her grandfather was white, I ain't claiming him. That don't mean I'm gonna go out the next day and put mixed identity, on the
That's
application.
you.
I am sticking to black.
Black, right?
I'm black. Like I don't care about what shade
But
of black
at the
you
end of the
are.
day,
We're all still black.
We don't have a direct white relative, so
But
I
it-
can see that.
Always.
That's what I'm saying. She had something extra, so it was like, let me go study this, and it was so much of a passion to study that side.
Is she light skinned?
She's light, but she's what is that brown paper bag?
Is she right on the cusp?
She right on the cusp. So
Okay,
that's
so
what
she's
make that's what make
light-skinned
it.
according to everybody else.
I'ma
in this
let her
room.
That is
explore.
correct.
I'ma
That
let
is
her
correct.
explore.
But once you find out what true beauty is,
There you go.
like
It's
they
in the
there we go.
inside.
It's
not
internal.
the outside.
Whoa, calm down.
It's internal.
Calm down. Whoa.
Yeah, because there's some
wasn't going
folks
there.
out here
Whoa.
that's ugly as hell.
No,
okay?
because there are ugly light skinned people and there are ugly dark skinned
Yeah.
people. There are ugly white people. There are ugly Asians.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you can have a blue car and a red car, but they both can look real good. You know what I'm saying? But one of them motherfuckers dirty. You know what I'm saying? One of them could be real dirty. Goddamn it.
Yeah.
If you a dirty light skin,
Yeah, it's a couple geos with a good
if you a
engine.
dirty dark skin, you know what I'm saying?
It's a couple Ford Escorts with some good engines in it. I'm just trying to tell you, boy.
Yeah, it's ugly on all sides.
Yeah,
all right?
I don't want to hear none of
And
that.
it's pretty on. It's just like you say, it's beautiful on all sides. It's ugly on all sides. too.
It's what's on the inside that matters.
Yeah,
Please.
all right.
I done seen some people that deserve a damn.
Cut your TV on. Who ugly?
They should be getting disability for how
Cut your
ugly
TV
they are.
on. Who ugly? Nobody.
You should file that.
You
man.
gotta see him and be like, "What happened to you? Was that an
I'm
accident?
about to say that's a whole nother discussion because we are gonna not.
Ooh.
We will not.
Are you getting a
pretend
check
like
for
the
that?
Physical don't matter. Okay.
Straight up.
Y'all want to know the reality? If you ever been to your class reunion, you know what I'm talking about.
Before I can fall in love with your soul, I gotta fall in love with how you look.
Did you not call Moneybag Yo ugly last week?
He is ugly.
We gonna go to break, ladies and gentlemen. What we finna do is we finna head
All
to a
right.
music mix, and when we come back, salute to all. You know what? Even though you ugly, you matter here at the BlackTop. Okay,
That's
All
what we
right.
do it
All
for.
faces matter
Oh.
here at the BlackTop.
That's an equal opportunity."
We are equal opportunity YouTube channel.
Hey man, this is the wildest radio show on the net. If you are tired of living check to check, owe the IRS and need a refund, need a tax preparer who will represent you, look no further. Contact Journal Audits today. Our mission is helping clients to build economical stability. We service individuals, self-employed, and small businesses. Let's help you change your financial situation today. Visit journalaudits.com or call us at 804-893-5007. Again, that's 804-893-5007 to schedule your appointment today. Journal Audits, proud sponsor of the wildest radio show on the net, the BlackTop. Thank you so much for watching our video. Now, if you don't mind, can you do us one more favor? Hit that subscribe button and also tap that bell notification. That way you're alerted about all of our live content, our live episodes, behind the scenes information, also live interviews with some of your favorite guests, and plus many more right here on BlackTop TV. Also, if you need more information about the show, follow us on Instagram, the BlackTop. That's DABLACKTOP, and you know me. Ha! I'm a poet, ain't even know it. I rhyme all the time. And that's about it.